It says we're live. Welcome to the third preview of our GenCon, the third part of our GenCon preview. I am now being joined by possibly other people, but for now, I am joined by Jonathan. Is it Moriarty?
That's the correct pronunciation, sir.
Which, unfortunately, the only time I've ever heard that name is in conjunction with Holmes' hated enemy.
I don't see why they could.
Anyhow, he's with Snakes and Lattes. Can you tell us a little bit about what your connection is with that board game cafe?
I was one of the first game gurus at Snakes and Lattes, the people whose job it is to recommend games to suit different people's tastes and to teach them the rules so they don't have to deal with the rule book. I've also been doing the Snakes Cast for almost 3 years now, these little 15-minute episodes intended for the kind of people who go to Snakes and Lattes, that is to say, people who are relatively new to games and are curious about it. And I'm going to be joining our Intrepid Away mission this time. I'm also playing a supporting role in the Snakes and Lattes sitcom, which you may have heard about, which should be coming out this fall.
Now, you're going to be at, talk about Snakes Cast, you're going to be at our booth at GenCon. Can you tell folks when you're going to be there at booth 3030?
3030 on Friday between the hours of around 5 and 6, thereabouts. Please do come by and say hi. It's always exciting to meet people who've been listening to the show. I always like to hear what you have to say, topics you want to hear about.
Our other current guest is Matt Huzzah, who is designer of 6 different board games and the publisher. He's just my best friend from college. So.
And I help him out whenever I can.
That's true. All the camera work you saw at the Origin Summer Preview was done by Matt if it was good.
I was terrible on all the close-ups.
I didn't say that. I did. I didn't say that. Anyhow, so if you folks want to ask questions or just, we're going to just chat, but if you have any questions, send them to me via Twitter at thedicetower.com. Not that. Just at the Dice Tower through Twitter. If you are watching and you want to be involved in some manner or fashion, then send me a tweet about that too, or a text message if you know my phone number. If you don't, well, that's that. Hang on 1 second. Matt knows all my deepest, darkest secrets, so there is that out there. Let me see if anyone has asked us a question yet. No! No one has asked us a question so far. Well, let me start by this. What do you guys think? Are you excited about GenCon? And if so, why?
You want to go first, Matt?
I'll repeat that again. I was reading something. I'm sorry. I'm new to this, so...
Okay, Jonathan, you go first.
All right. I missed GenCon last year, and despite having lots of vicarious enjoyment and shared misery and therefore reduced misery through GenCant 2014, I'm thrilled that I'm actually going to go again this year. The Snakes and Lattes away team is going to have a lot of fun this time. We're bringing our video editing person, Angel Rivera, and I have no doubt that Steve, as the captain of the away team, is going to do all kinds of crazy stuff. He's probably going to rope the rest of us in as well. The thing is, though, that between the doing the sitcom, getting my web app launched, doing other stuff at work that I can't actually talk about yet, I actually have not been able to keep up with current events, and I have no idea what to expect. I'm going to be going in with what you might charitably call beginner's mind. That's what you say when you have no idea what's coming up. But I'm really looking forward to being able to go to GenCon with no idea what to expect. Just take it all in and let things lead me where they will. I'm really looking forward to that. Also looking forward to seeing a lot of people I haven't seen in quite a while. Sorry, Tom, I didn't hear that last bit.
Yeah, I didn't hear you, Tom.
Your audio seems to have cut out.
Oh my goodness, Tom Vasil is speechless!
Okay, deep dark secrets then, Matt. Bring out something horrendously...
No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
We were this close, Matt. We were this close.
Well, Matt, okay. Are you excited about GenCon?
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. You've tried to get me to go the last few years, and it just hasn't worked out. Plus, just me moving every different place you can possibly imagine in the last few years. But I'm really looking forward to it. Everyone talks about the sheer size of it. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
All right. Well, Jonathan, tell us a little bit here about what's coming up with Snakes and Lattes. There's two things. First of all, I hear you guys are moving into a Walmart. And secondly, that you have a movie coming out.
Let's see. A few rounds of the telephone game or a round of telestrations might have resulted in that, but we're getting a new place. We're not moving, but we are adding a new location, much larger than the previous one. It's going to seat over 200 people. It's an old pool hall, and we're redecorating. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be right in the center of, in the heart of downtown Toronto. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to start working shifts there. It's beautiful, the space that they're setting up there. It should hopefully do something to kill the waitlist problem as well. If you can't get a table, then instead of having to wait for 3 hours, then it'll be about an hour and a half. The other thing is that it's not so much a movie as a web series. It's going to be 6 episodes, each about 15 minutes long, and that's about 90 minutes, which is about the length of a feature film, isn't it? So I guess it kind of is a movie. Anyway, it'll be premiering at the new location. We don't have a date for that just yet, but should be sometime in the fall.
Well, I'm kind of curious how this all came about. I mean, who thought that this was a good idea? Did you guys approach this, or did someone approach you?
That would be Drew Defoe, gentleman who's been professional in TV for quite a few years now, mostly working at TV Ontario, our public broadcaster here, and doing children's shows. He actually worked at Snakes and Lattes for a while, and really enjoyed the vibe of the place, really enjoyed the people there, and found himself asking, wait a minute, you mean to say nobody has ever done a TV show about a board game cafe? These things have existed for years now, and nobody's done. Okay, I'm doing it. And he wrote it himself. He's directed it. He brought in a crack crew of professional TV people. I watch these people doing their work. It's so efficient, so straightforward. You think that it would be easy, but it's not. Everything is this really intense technical stuff. Everybody was so efficient. I could not believe what I was seeing. I could not believe they let me have a part in this thing either. He wound up actually getting a few of us to play exaggerated versions of ourselves in this, and that was pretty ridiculous. But so
is this going to mock gamers to some degree?
It is going to mock the people behind Snakes and Lattes for the most part. People who take games seriously enough and love games enough that they're willing to really put themselves on the line and create a business around it. And it does poke gentle fun at it, but what really comes through ultimately is the passion of these people. They care so much and about games that they're willing to go to this extent to bring it to people. I think people are going to love it. I think it's going to be. I think it should do quite well.
So who's running? Who's doing this show again?
The gentleman's name is Drew Defoe.
No, but I mean, what channel are people going to watch, or
you'll be able to watch it right here on your friendly neighborhood internet.
This is very interesting. When will this be out?
Sometime this fall. They're hoping to have it done. We just finished shooting earlier this week, and it's in post production now. I actually got to see some of the footage, and it looks really good. It's again all the tech people behind this are pros, so it looks really slick, and I can't believe they let me play. It's like the coolest high school in the world. Let me grab around the coolest kids and let me be in their school play.
Is there any names that we might recognize that are in it?
If you're Torontonian and you're a part of the the comedy community, then you might know. Let's see. Oh, damn it! I'm terrible with names. Troy and Jamie are the two people who are sort of probably most well known. They're both stand-up comedians, and they're in the lead roles in the show.
All right. Well, I'll look forward to seeing that. Let's go to some questions. Don't forget, folks, if you have questions, send them through Twitter to at the Dice Tower. Anyhow, first question is, what was the last Kickstarter project you all backed, if any? We'll start with Matt, because I know he backs all kinds of Kickstarters.
I actually just backed my first Kickstarter here a few weeks ago. It was Epic, by the same people that put out Star Realms. So I should hopefully, according to their website, be getting my game in about 2 months.
Okay, that's one I've heard of. Good, Jonathan.
I arrived in the gaming community.
I went in on halvesies dice. A bunch of us got together and each got a few sets. A few of us have a bit of a dice problem. You know how it is. You can never have enough dice, and halvesies dice are just so pretty. I got the Treant, the Magma, and the Moonlight Sonata sets.
Marty, what's the latest Kickstarter you've backed?
Oh my gosh, I just got on.
Hi, Marty.
Oh,
Hey,
you don't get any time to rest.
The Reaper minis. I did
you
wave.
do that again?
I did wave 3. Okay, so me and 2 other buddies split these, $33 a piece, and we get tons of minis. It's a good deal.
It's a good deal if you want stuff. See, I backed the second one, and I got it. I got this big box of miniatures, but now I don't know what I'm going to do with it. What are you going to do with them?
Well, my sons are heavy into RPGs, so they use them for RPGing.
Are you justifying the purchase, or did you want them for that purpose?
I'm justifying the purchase. But look, they're less than $1 a piece. That's a good deal because there's regularly $2 or $3 a piece when they come out to the market.
I understand that, but if you don't want them in the first place, then it's not a good deal. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay, I'm going to go cancel my order. Hold on.
No, the thing about these, the reason I haven't backed 3 is because the miniatures in 2 are really cool, and I like them. But the fact is that they mix together so many different genres and so much different stuff, there's no rhyme or reason to any of it, that I really just got it because I wanted a box of miniatures, which I have now, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with them.
Oh, well, obviously you play with them like little dolls, right? You set up little scenes and dioramas and stuff, and have little actions, and you pretend what they would do.
Well, that's interesting. I got a son now who will want to do this. This is my justification now.
There you go.
Maybe I'll go back this, Marty.
There we go. It's too late now. It's over.
Miniature form.
Oh, it's over? Good.
No
All right, the
temptation.
last one I backed was the Scott King's 2016 gaming calendar. And I also backed the Space Case 1, the world's most advanced smart suitcase.
What makes a suitcase smart?
Well, first of all, it knows how to play board games. No, it's supposed to be anti-theft. There was a couple things I liked about it. The design was pretty cool. It has a power bar built into it so you can charge your phones and stuff directly into your suitcase, even while they're packed inside it.
So you play it solitaire.
And has thumbprint recognition so that only you can open it and stuff. So pretty cool. Let's see here. Let's see some more questions for our now 3 guests. Have you ever actually tasted a board game component? Matt, is he lying? Was it good? No, I've never tasted a board game component. What length of game is right for each of you? How long is the perfect game?
At this stage in my gaming life, an hour.
I would have to agree with that. Hour. I can do up to 90 minutes. Definitely past that point, I've kind of lost interest in the game at that point. Or, like, is it over yet? Unless it's, like, a really good game.
It's not that I've lost interest. It's that it's just how much time do I have to game. And if I want to squeeze something in, if I can pull an hour game off the shelf, I can probably get people to buy in to play it. Oh, great, Rodney's here.
Hey!
Rodney!
Hey, guys.
We're now joined by Rodney Smith from Watch It Played, a Dice Tower Network podcast.
And I should have... Hey, that's not true. I just showed up in time to interrupt Marty. I feel like I've already accomplished something here.
Appreciate it. You've kicked
That is
off
actually-
GenCon week very well.
So, Rodney, we were just
I can't
asking
be-
people what the
Go
perfect
ahead.
length of a game was for you.
Oh, the perfect length. You know what, probably between 30 and 45 minutes, but honestly, I mean, I love some longer games, but ideally, that's where my gaming tends to sit, and that maybe 45 to an hour even, because that gives you enough time to get things going, I guess. Does that seem short?
I think it's shorter than what it might have been a few years back. The trend has been towards shorter games for sure. I definitely enjoy the games that are about that length, but I find that for me to really get enmeshed in something to the point where I'm properly invested in it, I feel the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat. About 90 minutes is what it takes for me to get that far into it. Less than that, it could still be lots of fun and well worth playing. But
I'm thinking about it as you say that. I think I'm probably a little bit a victim of my schedule. So whenever I'm sitting down to play a game, I only have about that much time. So that's probably what's causing it. But I think about the games that I've been playing lately and really enjoying. It's like Forbidden Stars, even like something like Concordia. That's going to take you a few hours to really get going. Yeah, so that's it's probably true. What my ideal time is and what I actually have time for is probably what's at odds there.
All right. Well, for those of you who are just joining us, we have two new people who've just joined us. First, we have Marty Connell. Marty, why don't you tell everyone who you are?
That's the worst question. Who are you, and what exactly do you do here? So my name is
Spyfall or something.
Yeah. My name is Marty Connell, and I'm a co-host of the Rolling Dice and Taking Names podcast, which is a member of the Dice Tower Network. So there's your plug.
So when will you be at booth 3030, the Dice Tower Network booth?
I will be at booth 3030 this coming Saturday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. We'll have some swag to give away, such as some dice, some moon pies, and little squirrel tokens that you can take over to the Broken Token and turn those in and get 10% off your purchase.
That's also when I plan to be at the booth so I can get my moon pies. Because I eat so poorly at GenCon, that's probably going to be my meal for the day, right there.
This is Rodney Smith from Watch It Played. Rodney is the premier explainer of board game on the internet, and he is currently running a Indiegogo campaign, right?
Yeah, how nice of you to mention that. Yes, I am, for our 5th season of the show, wildly enough, and it's going really well, and people have been very supportive, which is great. So I will be in my basement shooting videos about board games, it looks like, for another year at least, which I'm excited to do.
This is really interesting to me because you're running this while at Gen Con. See, most of the time when people run these campaigns, they're sitting there at the computer just refreshing. So at Gen Con, you're going to be able to take your mind off of it.
I am going to be able to take my mind off of it. I meant to launch it in June. I didn't want to be butting up against Gen Con. I know people who might like to donate to my show are also thinking, oh, but those new games are coming out at Gen Con, and maybe I want to snap those up as well. But I just didn't want to delay it. Yeah, right? Right. And I would understand entirely if someone said, I'm going to buy that game. But no, my fundraisers run like 60 days, so I know I'll catch people later on. Hopefully.
That's true. I'm going to make a fundraiser that lasts 365 days, so that by the time it ends, we'll start the next one.
Well, you know what I always find, no matter how long I run it, if at the day it ends, I'll get an email the next day going, hey, are you going to ever have a fundraiser? I'd love to donate to the show. I think, oh, goodness. Anyway, but yes, thank you for the kind plug that is running, and I will be forgetting about it for a little bit at least. My wife won't be. She'll be watching, for sure. Let's see how much Rodney's getting paid.
Is your hobby doing anything for this family?
Yes.
I'll check this out.
Well, I mean, for the first couple of years, she was the primary backer of the show. So this is nice for her to see, for sure.
Does she get her name on the credits?
She ought to.
Okay.
As like executive producer. No question. No question about it. Listen, I have a question for you guys. Do you mind if I ask a question?
You didn't tweet it, but we'll accept it.
All right, thank you. So, on my way to Gen Con, I usually like to load my iPad up with a couple of games or something for the flight. Do you guys have any like device games that you're playing or going to be playing before Gen Con or on the way?
We're road tripping it, so all of our games that we bring with us are going to be paper and all designed to be the sort of thing that the driver can actually participate in, so Steve won't be bored to death all the way down.
That's thoughtful.
Are you talking about board game type apps or any app?
Well, really any app at all. I'll tell you, the one I've been playing lately is called This War of Mine. Have you guys heard about this?
Oh my goodness, yes.
I just think it's phenomenal. You're playing as like civilians in a war-torn city, and you're just trying to keep them alive. It's like it's like the Misery Farm, the Agricola of an app, because everyone's miserable. There's barely enough food, but it's really kind of a fascinating psychological type of game. So that's kind of my current app game these days.
This
Have
is
you ever
really-
played Shadowrun Returns, the latest version of that?
Oh yeah,
No.
That's really good. If you like XCOM style games.
right.
And get XCOM on the tablet too these days.
Well, the problem is with that is I throw it up against the wall.
Oh.
So it's dangerous for my iPad to play X. Just like the board game ends up against the wall lots of times too. So does the app when I play it on the
They
iPad.
should put that in the EULA, warning label of some kind, you know,
Right.
for damage to your hardware.
Eric Lang.
Oh,
Wait,
you
to
saw the with his
clarify-
tears, right?
Hmm?
This is
That's right.
Eric. This is how he feels about your.
That's right.
So to clarify, Marty, you've actually thrown board games?
No, that was just an anecdote to make a joke. I have
Oh, yeah.
not thrown
Little
any
hyperbole?
board games. Yes, hyperbole.
I was about to be proud of you, sir. All right, folks. Don't forget, if you have a question for our cast of characters, you can tweet it to me at the Dice Tower. Let's see here. Well, I only have one question so far. What are your top solo game recommendations? I have to back out of this one. I'll let you guys answer.
Oh, well, obviously XCOM, right? If you get to play it by throwing it at the wall, it's you get extra bonus points if you can destroy the plastic by tossing it against your wall. That works too.
You've played XCOM solo?
Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh!
I even beat it once.
Wow.
You can get off this call now. That's it.
Oh, okay. Bye,
I
everybody.
played it once, so
It's rough, no question.
mine is no question the Lord of the Rings LCG. I love that game, and I don't even mind playing it solo. I make 2 decks. I control both of them, and I really find it challenging and frustrating. And when I overcome a difficult scenario, it feels great. I don't play many games solo unless I'm just trying to learn it, but that's one I would definitely go back to.
So I have 2. Rodney just took one, so I'll mention the other. The old standby solo game, Friday. That's a game. I have it at work, and I pull it out at lunch and just play it. Another frustrating game, but fun.
Good call. I like that one too.
All right, our next question is anybody planning on going to any lesser board game cons this year? I guess they mean smaller. We shouldn't say lesser. What other conventions might we see you each at?
BGG-Con for me.
That's
I'll be
it?
there. Can't wait. I think that's the only other con this year I'll be at. Yeah.
We have
All
a
right.
small local con in Charlotte, early November. I usually attend called Mace. I usually go to that one, but then I'll be going right over to BGG-Con after that.
Snakes usually has a presence at Anime North, though I'm not sure if they're planning to do that this year. It's a bit of a ways.
Matt?
After GenCon, it's like I get home on Sunday, I have off Monday, and then Tuesday I report back to teaching. So, I mean, I'm back in school, so this is it. This is my last hurrah for the summer.
Those who can't.
I'd like to go on one of these cruise cons that are being talked about. Like BGG has a cruise con. You're talking about it too, aren't you, Tom?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to gauge the interest in it, and now that I have about 200 people saying they're interested in it, I think that means 100 of them are seriously interested, and 50 of them might come. So I'm going to actually put some effort into figuring all that out next week. I've kind of been putting it off because of GenCon. For me, for conventions this year, I'll be at GrandCon, at BGG-Con, at Essen. That's it, I think. Just 3 more cons. Am I missing one? August, September, October, November. Oh, we'll run some mini-con down here too in Broward, in Hollywood. So, next question. Huzzah! Will GenCon compare to past GenCons as far as big games coming out? Seems like there's less hype this year.
That's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, it's going to be different in terms of the capacity and shoulder space, but I don't know about games. I guess there isn't a ton of things that I'm jumping on my pants for, as our friends at the Cabal would say, but what about you guys? Do you have any like big games you really are jonesing for?
Honestly, I don't think it's really so much about the big releases as it is about the chance to be with all of those game players, to see all these people to play. Whether or not it's something that's new, it's the experience that matters, not so much the. Essen, to me, is more of a fair where you go to see the new stuff and you go to buy things. Gen Con's where you go to play.
You think so?
I think too. For me, like, don't you feel like you know everything that's coming out? So it changes some of the, I don't know, the releases and that sort of thing don't become as big of a deal when you already know what all of them are.
Could be.
Yeah.
Spoiled.
But I mean, last year I felt like there was some really, really big games that were fighting it out. There's still some this year, but it didn't feel like the same thing as last year.
Think there might be some surprises in store. Some big manufacturers holding stuff back for a surprise announcement on the.
Great! I'm glad you mentioned that. It's time to play the Guess What Fantasy Flight is Doing game.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've already made all my predictions. If you probably haven't listened to my podcast at all because you guys don't like me, so you're not going to be tainted by that.
You have a
so
podcast?
You don't know what I said. Oh, speaking of which, here's the co-host of the podcast, Eric Summerer.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Woo, that's
Oh.
loud.
Much better now that you're here, Eric.
Turn your mic down, Eric.
Oh golly.
Jeez.
That's okay. Not everyone does this voice stuff for a living. All right, so Eric can't do this either because he heard my guesses. But for the other four of you, what do you think Fantasy Flight's going to do?
Well, obviously it's going to be
I think-
something Star Wars, right?
Well, that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say, but they've done Star Wars the past couple of years. What else is left? Except announcing expansions for Armada or something like that. I was trying to think something brand new they might come out with.
It's a lot of dead air, I think, because it's hard. It's hard, like with all the stuff they've had out recently. I'm trying to think, like,
Well-
maybe something Warhammer, but they just had Forbidden Stars. Well, maybe something Star Wars. They got so much Star Wars stuff right now.
Maybe something Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is only getting bigger in the public consciousness. So.
Their last Game of Thrones games didn't do so hot.
Oh, no, obviously.
The Battle Lore one.
You know what I think they ought to do is they ought to do Smiley Face and retheme it as a Game of Thrones game.
That actually could
think
work.
You think I'm joking. Smiley Face is an incredibly mean, vicious, cruel, horrible game with an awful theme and terrible art. And if they rethemed that as Game of Thrones, it would do really well, I think. You can have that one for free, Fantasy Flight. Enjoy.
I'm not going to argue with that. That's not a bad idea.
And Westeros Intrigue was just Penguin rethemed, and that was, well, I don't know, less awesome, I think.
Well, while we're thinking of this Fantasy Flight thing, Rodney, you've been requested to play a song on the piano.
Right, I do have the piano behind me here, don't I? I think I could do a C scale or a D scale for you.
You
I
don't
know
play?
if I could play any music. No, I used to when I was younger, but I think I've been away from it long enough that it would just be terribly embarrassing. My son plays a little
now
bit.
you have to do it.
My wife is the because it would embarrass me.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, he actually agreed to do it!
Hooray!
It's gonna be chopsticks, right? Yeah. Called it!
Wow.
Bravo! Huzzah! Encore!
I don't even know chopsticks.
That was beautiful. Got a tear to my eye.
No,
Thank
I'm sorry. That was dreadful.
you. It was awesome. I loved every second of it.
Okay.
It's cool to see that though. I just started practicing again recently, and it does come back if you start playing.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
No, it really does. I mean, I was a little iffy when I first started playing, but now I'm getting back. I'm getting it back. I need to play a lot more. To get
I
it
noticed
back.
when my son was taking lessons, I could come over his shoulder and I could read the notes enough to do the simpler songs for sure. But my memory for it is terrible. Any songs I used to remember, I'd have to look up the sheet music.
That's actually why music exists. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's see here. What's some more questions from people? What are the games? Oh, this is a great one. What are the games from last Gen Con that are still memorable? Games that you're still talking about and playing from last Gen Con. Why these guys
The
are thinking.
Conquest LCG.
Dang it, Rodney! Stop it! Let me go before you do. That was mine.
Gets you every time, man.
Okay,
Yeah, the Conquest
fair enough.
LCG, I'll still get to the table every now and then.
Yep, same here.
For me, if you look over my shoulder, you can see Abyss up here. So I saw that one, and then what's the name of the game? Dead of Winter. Dead of Winter,
Yeah.
I think, is still pretty strong.
Same here.
And I'm not a huge fan of it, but people are still playing Five Tribes. I would say those are probably the three most popular games that came out. Maybe the CCG, the LCG one's hard for me to gauge because it's like has a niche audience. I don't know how big that audience is.
Everywhere
Right.
Boy Keith Collins said Imperial Settlers. Did that come out at Gen Con last year?
Oh yes.
That's a pretty big
Imperial
one.
Settlers.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one to mention for sure. I'm trying to think of some of the other big games that came out then.
Tragedy
It's all blending
Looper.
together for me.
Yeah, the Z-Man ones didn't do so hot, I don't think, in the long run.
Tragedy Looper was last year's Gen Con.
Yes, but Eric, I know you love
Yeah.
it, but it's not like this big game that people are still playing.
The Dice Tower Awards gave it one.
That's true.
I think it's worth noting that one. I know it's hitting my table more than some games this year have for sure.
Was Arcadia Quest last Gen Con?
It was.
No, I think it was.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't quite. No, time didn't line up.
It wasn't released at Gen Con, but it was, it's been about a year now.
All right, I gotta go
It's been
put
out,
my
I
son to bed. I'm putting Rodney in charge until I get back.
Oh, dear
Rodney's in
goodness.
charge of the Dice Tower.
Mutiny.
Excellent.
That's pretty sad. His
Excellent.
co-host
All
is sitting right here, and he doesn't give him the. I mean, Eric's like, "What am I?"
I, for one, welcome our new game teaching overlord.
Your new Canadian overlords here. Look,
Yeah,
I'm so
good for you.
stereotypical. I'm even drinking
Oh,
Canada Dry.
Is it Molten Blue? Is that what it's called?
Yes, that's right. Well, gentlemen, I'll tell you something. A game I'm really excited about for Gen Con, I just want to make a quick mention of, is this one here. Have you guys heard about The Grizzled?
No.
Yes.
No.
This is a cooperative game coming from Cool Mini or Not. I think they're going to have a few boxes for sale here. Oh boy, someone really doesn't want to go to bed.
There's a
Over at
Nazgul in
Marty's
Tom's
house.
place.
Yeah. Well, this one's really interesting because it's a wartime cooperative game, but instead of fighting, it's really more about the psychological survival. And so that the setting of it's quite interesting. The artwork is really nice as well. But it combines, I was going to say, you guys have played Ink and Gold? Maybe the viewers
yeah.
that are familiar with that game, kind of a push your luck game, right, where you're
That
trying
game
to
does
go
a ton of
deeper.
work for me. It's nice.
Right. Well, this one's kind of like that, except you all have the cards in your hand, and one at a time you're playing them out into the play area, and you don't want to exceed a certain number of matched patterns. So cooperatively, you're trying to make sure that things get out that will help the team get through as many cards as possible. So I definitely think if people haven't heard about it, it's one to keep an eye out for. Nice and I'm going to bring my copy with me because it's one of the few games I can probably put in my pocket relatively easily. I know Steve Avery really enjoyed it as well.
It's a
Tom,
hard
we were just
game.
talking about the Grizzled here quickly.
Oh yeah, and
I think that one
the artwork's very interesting.
it is really interesting, and I think it's one of those games that has the potential at the convention to maybe word of mouth spread and become something quite notable. We'll see, I guess. I'm not always good at predicting that stuff. I also have to leave, so Tom, I'm going to put you in charge of this. I have to spend some time with my son before I head off to Gen Con. We're going to play a little bit of Minecraft together, his favorite game, and one I enjoy as well. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys who are going to be at Gen Con in a couple of days. Wow, it's crazy. It's here.
Is that on Canada time?
Yes, I think so.
Last year, I think you lost a whole day of Gen Con, right?
I did. It really that was the worst. I hated that, and so hopefully this time I'll be there on time and relaxed and enjoying myself. Well, as relaxed as anyone can be at Gen Con.
Yeah. All righty. See you then, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, Nick.
And see everybody who's watching later.
All right. Well, folks, if you have questions, don't forget to send them to us at the Dice Tower on Twitter. Do you believe that Seafall is actually coming out this year? I think they announced that they're pushing that back.
Yeah, like first quarter next year.
Yeah, I think so. Do you see Champions of Midgard murdering Lords of Waterdeep? I don't think so. It's a very fun game, and I like it a lot, and I think I'd prefer it to Lords of Waterdeep, but first of all, Lords of Waterdeep is a D&D game, and secondly, it's different, it's fast. I don't know. I think there's room in the collection for both. Has anyone here played Champions of Midgard?
I haven't had the chance yet.
You should. It's amazing.
So,
Let's
Gen
see.
Con.
This person predicts that Fantasy Flight is going to show off Arkham, Tigris, and Euphrates. How do you think Medieval Academy is going to do at the convention?
I don't have that guess. I don't know enough about it to make a guess.
Yep, I'm going to have to go with Marty on that one.
I'm gonna say great.
Thank you, Eric. All right. Okay, let's see here. Is there a theme that you absolutely despise in gaming and would not play? Your personal least enjoyable theme for a game?
Zombies.
Zombies.
I'm about ready for zombies to go away, yeah.
I was going to say murdering children, but okay, zombies.
Dead of Winter
Right.
sucked me back into zombies, though.
Yeah, the thing is that the Dead of Winter isn't about the zombies. Like,
No, I agree.
Like most good zombie fiction, it's about the survivors, the relationships and stuff. So.
I
Yeah.
agree. Good point.
Okay, Scott King, who has authored the famous board game calendars, which once again I see I've forgotten to change, but it's almost August, so I'll just change it twice. Anyhow, he wants to know what's the most photogenic game coming out at Gen Con, so he can take a picture of it.
Just because I got it today, Ashes is one of mine. The art on that game is amazing, and the custom dice are gorgeous.
No one else has a guess?
Well,
Mysterium.
yeah, Mysterium.
Either that or whatever
Okay.
this is pronounced as. Seriously, it's like Dixit except creepy. Well,
I was about to say, have you seen those Dixit cards? Eric?
I haven't had a chance to see any of them close up yet.
I'm going to go Blood Rage, because I'm going to say that for a lot of answers.
Minis and Blood
Probably
Rage.
not.
That was a game.
Blood Rage is an awesome game.
That's pretty photogenic, yes.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. There's a guy painting my miniatures, and he said they'll be finished when I get back from Gen Con.
Oh,
Nice.
I hate you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Get off the channel. Let's see. Any other questions that were sent to at the Dice Tower via Twitter? Yes. Will we be trying Periscope at Gen Con? Yes, we're going to try it. We're going to test it. It may or may not work well. Here's a question from Seth. Do you think Abyss would have done better if 5 Tribes hadn't come out at the same time?
Are they really equal? Maybe in weight.
They're both going for the same market, for sure, the same sort of player. But there's also a lot of other games that went for that market, too, that didn't do nearly as well as either one. They both did as well as they did, I think, because of their quality. And I suppose if only one... I don't know. I don't think it would have made that big a difference.
Okay. All right. Well, I've asked this question on the other shows. I haven't asked you guys. What is the thing you're most excited about Gen Con?
It's cliche. It's heartwarming. It's the people. I'm looking forward to seeing the people. Well, but it's true. I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys and hanging out with all my buddies. So I'll go ahead and get the sappy answer over with, so everybody can come up with really cool answers.
You stole Eric's answer.
It's the
I
feeling
was going to
of
say the
being
live
there.
show. I'm psyched about that.
Oh man.
Are you nervous? Because I am.
A little bit. I need to do some more rehearsing, make a couple more lyrical tweaks, but I'm close.
Wait to hear me and Matt.
I'm close.
We're doing a duet.
Nice.
Did you know that, Matt?
No, I did not. I did not see that on the schedule.
It's not. You're sick.
I know. I was about to say, because I was a good boy. I actually printed out my schedule, and I'm like, okay, I don't think he's referring to me. Or it's a joke, one or the other.
It's the other Matt.
Well, we are pretty excited about that. This is our biggest crowd yet, 500 people. There was a time in our podcast history where we thought that was our entire audience. That's actually bigger than the audience currently watching this. All right, so let's take people out of the equation, Marty. What are you looking forward to the most? Is there like an event or a game or a restaurant?
Okay, because I had these set up, because our episode's coming out tomorrow, we're talking about GenCon games we're looking forward to. I was picking games that wasn't getting a lot of press, and then all of a sudden this game is now the hotness on BGG when like 2 weeks ago nobody was even talking about it. For a while I've been interested in Undercity from Privateer Press because I like the Castle Ravenloft type games, and I really like the Iron Kingdoms world, and I thought, ooh, here's a game that I'm going to sneak in and talk about that not anybody knows about, and it's been like #1 on BGG for the last 3 days. So it's not a secret anymore. It will now sell out, so I probably won't be able to get my hands on it at all. But that's one game I've been looking forward to.
So you're saying that you were going to like the game, but now that everybody likes it, it's not good anymore?
Yeah. It's like Mumford & Sons. You know, when they got popular, who cares anymore?
All right. Jonathan, what about you?
I'm looking forward to seeing some of the artsy, craftsy type stuff, custom playmats, custom dice towers. One of the things that's sort of grown along with board games is the crafting movement. More and more people are getting access to higher quality materials to make crazy stuff. And it's so expensive to get anything shipped up to Canada through, the igloos and stuff. But at Gen Con, I can actually see it, I can touch it, I can buy it. I really want to see what kind of stuff people are going to be making.
Matt?
I'm just looking forward to seeing this Origins on Crack that everyone's been telling me about for the last few years. I mean, I've seen some pictures of it, and it looks interesting. I have seen video San Diego Comic-Con. I know this is not to the scale of it, but looking at pictures of Gen Con and comparing them with some stuff that I've seen from San Diego Comic-Con, it's in many ways it does seem like it is the Comic-Con of board gaming. So I'm looking forward to seeing that aspect of it.
Yeah, if you're looking forward to the spectacle, it's certainly there. That is for sure. All right, one of the things that we're doing this week is happening on Wednesday, for those of us who are there, and we're going to the Geek Chic XP event at the zoo. Now, this is kind of it's an odd thing. Geek Chic called me last week and told me about this event and said we bought the zoo, or we rented the zoo, I guess.
Rented out the zoo.
And that basically you can go in there, see the animals, ride the rides, have gourmet burgers, and play board games and hobnob with people. What do you guys think of this idea?
What time did you say it starts?
I think it's from 2 to 10. They're charging people like $85 for it, but they gave away like so many free ones. I think the $85 is just to show what it would cost.
This is in order to promote their new sort of convention concierge service? Is that what Geek Chic XP is?
Yes. Geek Chic XP. Let me see if I can find the. Let me see if I can find the webpage for it. Geek Chic XP is like their new thing that they started. They sent it to me a while ago, and I wasn't really that interested in it because it costs $1,200 a year, and so I was like, okay, I'm out. But according to their website, which is geekchicxp.com, this is a premier club for geeks. And so what they're going to do at different conventions is they're going to have events like this Geek Night at the Zoo. I think this is what they're trying to show us what it's going to be like. And you also get passport perks at game lounges, events, and venues. You have a concierge on site at the convention that you go to. You get priority seating at curated public gaming spaces, which I am assuming is like their tables and stuff. And exclusive access to members-only gaming lounges. They also will have full-service food and beverage options, open late. And I believe I saw something there. You get haircuts and shaves. So I'm just really curious what you guys think about this just from hearing about it.
So I've heard a lot of backlash from it, in that they feel like they're creating like an elitist type group, and they feel like it's like, oh, you know, these people are going to go there. It's like, we don't want to game with the peasants. You know, we have our own tables and stuff to go game at. So I've heard some concern about that, and it feels like it's kind of an uppity thing. Now, for selfish reasons, I'm bringing my whole family to GenCon, and there's 5 of us, so I can feed 5 people for free. Yeah, I'm at the zoo on Wednesday, getting them all a burger, so I ain't got to feed them that night. So that's why I'm going.
Well, I understand why you're going to the zoo. That's fine. I'm not asking that. I'm asking what do you think about the whole program? You mentioned what other people said. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, I do. At $1,200 a pop, I mean, seriously, I don't even see how people will pony up that. And it's for every convention, or every convention they go to, you get special treatment that they're at?
Yeah, it looks like, as far as I can tell, they're going to be at Origins, they're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, and then more. I wouldn't be surprised if they work out a deal with Board Game Geek.
See, those guys even go to Dragon Con, so they have a presence there too, which is a pretty big con.
Is that worth it? I mean, look at all the people who buy the VIP pass at GenCon. Come on, guys, give me some opinions here.
It seems excessive, honestly. Obviously, there is a move towards high-end everything in places, because if all you need to do is get a few customers who are willing to pony up huge dollars, and you can have a successful business. But I don't know. I just don't see that sort of a model is going to do that well. Then again, we do have Lord of the Rings collector's editions, which cost in the hundreds of people buy those.
And the Geek Chic table itself is a very over-the-top priced item, and they certainly are selling those.
So I guess they've got their target market in the form of the people who buy these really awesome, super expensive things for a premium geek experience.
I am interested in seeing what they're doing at GenCon specifically, because in order to launch this whole thing, they've got they've got a store presence at the Circle Center Mall, and they're serving food there. And if they're able to provide good food faster than, say, the food trucks or the restaurants within that first block around the convention center, then that's something that's worthwhile. And that's something that everybody can participate in regardless of this $1,200 subscription model.
I think that the proof is going to be in the pudding here. We're going to see how the zoo thing is. You know, they really pushed hard to get us to come. I mean, really pushed hard to get the Dice Tower to come, and then they kept saying there's going to be all these highfalutin geeks there type thing. They have to convince the highfalutin geeks, I guess, the different publishers and stuff, to show up every time, too.
Well, if you guys are the attraction.
I don't think we are the attraction, per se. I think that they just want to have everybody there who's somebody.
Actually, they're going to be behind bars, Jonathan. It's going to be really kind of cool. Oh. Don't feed Tom. It's going to have a sign there. Don't feed Tom. Do not
feed
Eric.
or tease Tom.
I would take torture over the don't feed Tom thing. Come on. And did you guys notice, though, that there was a side announcement with this that Crash Games was partnering with them? And the announcement was slightly vague, but it made it almost sound like they were funding Crash Games from now on. Did you guys hear about that?
I did, and I thought that was a kind of an odd partnership for a furniture company to pick one specific game company to buy or support.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I'm not sure. It's hard to say this. I don't mean any negativity towards Crash Games, but what's made Crash Games special out of all the companies?
Location, and they're in the same spot, right? I mean, maybe that's one thing.
I believe he said he was moving to.
You're right. You're absolutely right. He's moving to Redmond or Seattle, wherever it is.
Yeah.
It's certainly interesting news. I'm just very curious where the end result of this is going to be. You guys are very, very non-opinionated tonight. I'm trying.
I didn't see the announcement.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to find it so I could read it to you, but I have not found it yet. I know he posted it on Twitter. But he posts a lot on Twitter, so I have to go back a while to find out exactly what he said here. Hang on. Meanwhile, let's see if we have any more questions for you guys. What's your favorite con city to visit? Just the city itself.
At this point, Columbus, just for the food alone. Columbus just has the best food of any con city around at this point.
I agree. Columbus really knocked it out of the park this year at Origins. It was really some great options within a close distance of the convention center. It offers a lot as far as ease of access. There's a lot in Indy as well, but you're going to be dealing with significant crowds in that initial block or two from the convention center. You either need to eat your lunch at 10:30 a.m. or you really have to be prepared to wait.
Last time I was at Origins was about 10 years ago. Has it changed a lot since then?
We just lost Tom, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
Eric's in charge. Eric's in charge.
Wait a minute, where's Eric?
Oh, maybe Eric's gone.
Oh my God, it's just us.
Holy crap, what do we do now? We have complete power.
We have to make up our own questions now, obviously, is what we have to do. Okay. Something we can have opinions on. Something we can really get into it with.
Who can we talk about that's not here?
Tom's not here.
There we go.
Oh, I know what we do. Okay, Matthew, you have to tell us something embarrassing about Tom. Something that he would just be humiliated to find that anybody had been discussing with. Something
I like this.
Something from way, way back that he could possibly be blamed for now, but he would nonetheless be horrified to find out that somebody else.
Tom is writing on the message boards. Everybody's kicked out, but yet we're still alive, Tom. So.
Tom is usually smart. Tom is usually doing things to embarrass me. Is basically what would happen.
Okay.
Brunt of his practical jokes more than once.
Okay.
Who just got booted?
So is
got booted.
Is this time for turnabout? Do you feel that it would be appropriate for you to have the chance to repay in kind with some sort of practical joke of some kind for Tom at this day and age? Or would it no longer carry the satisfaction that it once did?
No, because practical jokes usually backfire on me horribly, so, up Tom's back. Can't talk about it. Everyone be quiet.
He was getting ready to open up and tell an embarrassing story about you.
Back, baby! Who got booted?
Eric.
So now let's all just stare at our screens. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, Tom, since nothing's happening. What are you looking forward the most to Gen Con?
Oh, please say the people.
Do you hear me, Tom?
Is he lost the audio?
Hang on.
Oh, no, there he is.
I'm here. I was just trying to...
You hear my
I lost
question?
my co-host. What was your... Yes, they were trying to get you to tell something about me, and then you said that practical jokes...
I asked you a question. What are you looking forward to the most at Gen Con? Eric's back.
Probably the live show,
Okay.
meeting people at the booth.
The people. There we go. People.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I like being at the booth and you know, showing stuff off. I like the costume parade. I don't know why. I just get a kick out of that every year. I'm looking forward to our meal at St. Elmo's because that's my favorite place to eat in Indianapolis. And that thing we're doing to Eric.
Wow.
I did jump in and listen to that conversation while I was off, so I know everything you're up to.
Everyone here is so paranoid. Yes, we're friends, really. All right, well, I'm going to shut this down soon so I can go to bed early since I'm getting up at 4. What do you think is or has the potential to be the best gateway game of 2015?
Ooh.
Beyond Spyfall?
Code names
Mm.
for me.
No. I like Codenames a lot. I don't see that one being a gateway
Look,
game.
if you asked me my opinion, it was my opinion. It doesn't make it wrong.
Oh, there's wrong opinions.
One that's been really doing really well at Snakes and Lattes as far as bringing in people who have only ever played Monopoly and Clue and so on is Battle Sheep. A lot of us are talking about it being the new, hey, that's my fish. Faster to set up, faster to teach, and it's just as mean, and it's just as funny.
Actually, we should just ask that question only to Jonathan, since you really do have your pulse on that.
That's the one that's been doing best so far, and yes, Spyfall has also been getting a lot of excitement at the cafe. And of course, this is the moment my brain picks to freeze up. But that's the first one that comes to mind.
That's really interesting. I think Medieval Academy is going to do well. You know, an interesting one from last